Easy walk in. Touchdown, Elliott.
All right, it's nice to have depth, right? We always talk about that. The Dallas backfield certainly potent, a 1-2 punch. Zeke, Tony Pollard, one of 3 running back duos with at least 1,000 scrimmage yards in 2021. The other guys, Jones and Dillon in Green Bay, and then Gordon and Williams in Denver. But Zeke catching up with LT and Andrew Siciliano.
Well, how have you involved, even in your own running back room, you know, with some of the younger guys that are coming up behind you? How have you evolved in that manner?
I'd say probably like, you know, in my earlier years, you know, I was really more of a lead by example guy, go out there and show them how to practice, show them how to work. But, you know, I think as I got older, you know, it's about, you know, bringing those guys with me, you know, teaching them how to be pros, teaching them, you know, what it takes to try to be great. And, you know, I've been, you know, taking big pride in that.
It's a big year, really, for you personally as well. How do you view this? You know, knowing Tony's heading to free agency here, you guys are both going to be used a lot. There's such high expectations. Do you allow yourself in this past offseason, as you're working to get healthy and get ready to get back on the field, to think about the importance, team goals aside, for you this year and what it could mean?
I think you got to approach every year the same way. Every year is important. You know, I'm not going to be able to go get that last one back. I'm not going to be able to get this one back after this season. So, I mean, I'm not really looking too far down the road. I'm focusing on, you know, being the best I could be every day, every week, and just doing what I can. I feel like if I, you know, take care of what I need to take care of every day, day by day, that, you know, when the season is over, I'm going to be in a good spot.
Usage numbers, that's been a topic of conversation for the Dallas Cowboys backfield. Guys, actually a week ago, I was on set. It was MJD and LT. And MJD's like, yo, man, people will say that they got to give the rock to the other guy, but it is a different mentality when you become the bell cow. So I wanted you guys to take me through this percentage of carries. What do you think we see this upcoming season in terms of a split?
I 100% agree with those guys, too, where it's different when you're the lead back as opposed to the guy jumping in. So with that, I think Zeke should still get, let's get my numbers here, 60% of the carries here, which easy math for you there. Make it easy math for you, for UNC.
You're the Ivy League guy.
You're the Ivy League guy. I understand that. And that being said, is you have a different mentality when you're getting the ball on first and second down, and you know maybe in a drive you're going to get it 8 times, as opposed to Tony Pollard, who just has to jump in there and have spot plays or special plays for him. It's not the same mentality. It's not the same physicality.
No, it's not that, but I think you have to understand, in Dallas, in this locker room, this is the dude. He's the alpha. He's the one that set the table. When they were winning games and played at their best, it's because Zeke Elliott has been running the football and being effective. And so even though he may not be what he once was, he still is an effective player. And also remember this, that offensive line hasn't been the same, but they upgraded Tyler Smith, the young guy they bring from Texas. Maybe they put him in at left guard. If they can get that offensive line going with some push, he's still a very effective player running.
You know, Brian Baldinger brought this up as well, and I know we'll get to rushing yards and the touchdowns, and you talk about carries, but he said even if he is not getting it going, at the end of the day, he said what he does in pass pro is super valuable to this team.
Yeah, the pass pro, and his hands are excellent, too. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield. So, and also the expectations, I think, have hurt Ezekiel Elliott, where since he was the 4th pick in the draft, got the huge contract that people expect so much, started out really fast, expect so much, but that doesn't take away from him still being an excellent back who's going to get 1,100 rush yards this year.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah, that works.
That's a reasonable expectation. Now, the key would be, I don't even believe it's Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. The key to me is Kellen Moore. Is Kellen Moore going to run the football enough where they have enough opportunities to lean on people? Because remember, when the Cowboys are winning, and I love Dak Prescott, it's about the running game, the physicality of the offensive line. If they commit to that formula, yeah, he absolutely could do it. And I think they have a chance to have 2 1,000-yard backs. Because if they're playing the right way, the way that they want to play to go to the playoffs, both of these guys should get it because the magic number to me is 35. If they get 35 rushing attempts per game, the Dallas Cowboys are putting their hands on people, they're dominating, and their defense will play better because they're not on the field as much.
Schematically, can you do something a little bit different? You know, I used to be around Mike Leach, and he would always say, you don't have to worry about actually giving the ball and doing those handoffs, those quick little passes. They almost act like run plays. Do you see schematically some of the differences?
A little bit of that, but I'm going to tell you, man, there's nothing like having to tackle a guy between the tackles with your pass. All that cute stuff in space is nice, but there's something about the attitude. Your toughness comes from the running game and your offensive line. Zeke Elliott's a part of that, but Tony Pollard also has to be a part of that with the physicality at the end of runs.
He's still imposing, this dude. Well, you too,
Yeah.
but him. So, all right, gotta angle the finger pointer there.
With the numbers being up, too, with Andy Reid in Philly, we used to throw to run. Throw the ball early, get up, and then run the ball. And I think this could be the same formula for Dallas with Dak, the defense. Let's talk about the improved defense, too, now with Michael Parsons and some key pieces there. Dallas get leads. Then this makes these guys even tougher to stop.
All right, touchdowns. Got to get into the end zone. What's my number?
Well, let's go with, I think Zeke had 12 total last year. We'll give him 13. We'll give him 13 this year. Get another one.
Hey, over there. That's Zeke's fan over there.
That's my man. He's gonna do
if
it.
Mark was still running the team, Zeke would be signed if he's a free agent. I know that. So I'm going to go right now with 8 for Tony Pollard. And the reason why is because I think this guy does all the work. And then I think in fantasy they call it he's a vulture. I think Ezekiel Elliott takes all the touchdowns. My man does the explosive plays, the big plays, all the flashy stuff. Zeke grinds it out, puts it in the paint. That's why he has double-digit touchdowns.
Anything that we can take away from your experience with the Giants when it comes to having multiple backs?
Well, again, the sum is greater than the individual parts. When I was with the Giants in the 2007 run, we had Brandon Jacobs and Derek Ward. Derek Ward got hurt towards the end of the year. Then here comes Ahmad Bradshaw at the end, where those guys collectively were better. The 2011 Super Bowl run, it was Ahmad that kind of took the place as the #1 back, but you still had Brandon in there running as a tandem, and those two had different sort of plays. Brandon was more the Ezekiel Elliott, grinded out. Ahmad, the more big play guy, kind of grew into an every down back. But those two together were much better than just individuals.
Super Bowl 38 with the Carolina Panthers. We have Stephen Davis and Deshaun Foster. Everyone wants to make it either or. I'm saying no, it's both. 17-game season, you're going to need both of these guys to do it. So to me, load management, splitting the carries, it may allow you to have both of these guys down the stretch, and that's the way that you need to play in the postseason.
What year was that, Bucky?
I don't know. I just know we lost. We lost to the Patriots, Super Bowl 38.
You beat us to get there, so you beat us our first year in the league. I know what year it was, 2004. Our first season in the league. Y'all came in there and shut us down, so you didn't have to bring that up, Bucky.
And no one wants to hear this, by the way, but Foster actually carried me.
Smoke!
He did, but he carried me to a fantasy football championship.
Oh, okay.
So you got it.
A lot of love for what he brought to the table on that particular squad. All right, still more to come here. You know, the other day, Steve White set the over-under at 90 seconds before we see Dick Vermeil cry over the correct answer, but it was a great speech and a great